Celine Dion is shining a light on a rare neurological disorder known as stiff person syndrome. Thursday, the superstar announced she had been diagnosed with the condition. I spoke with a neurologist about the disease and who it affects. Singer Celine Dion sent shockwaves around the world when she announced on Instagram Thursday that she is postponing her concert tour after being diagnosed with stiff person syndrome.
Sometimes causing difficulties when I walk and not allowing me to use my vocal cords to sing the way I'm used to.
As I said, it's very rare.
Dr. Jim Karras is a neurologist at Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist and a professor of neurology at Wake Forest University School of Medicine. He says stiff person syndrome is an autoimmune disorder that is characterized by muscular rigidity that occurs along with muscle spasms. One estimate says it affects 1 in a million people.
I've been doing this over 25 years. I've only seen 4 cases. Here at Wake Forest, we have under 10 total. So there's not a lot of this out there.
Dr. Karras says there is no particular risk group. Early symptoms can include unexplained falls and spasms in the back.
If people get startled all of a sudden, they may lock up or freeze up for a few seconds and feel like they can't move. Over time, people get kind of a curve in their back often, stiffness in their neck, upper arms. As I said, they can walk funny. They walk like the Tin Man when it's really severe.
The severity is different for each person, with some becoming hospitalized. Though there is no known cure for the disease, Dr. Karras says it is treatable.
Most of the patients are functional. They're up, walking around. They may appear fairly normal, but they're on a lot of medicines to keep them that way.
Though this disease can impact anyone, Dr. Karras says it's more prevalent in women than men. He also says people who have other autoimmune conditions like type 1 diabetes, they are at higher risk. One of the biggest things in the interview he said was, we're not just talking about when you wake up and your back is hurting a little bit or you have a little neck pain. This is literally people who lock up and they cannot move. So for him to say in his 25 plus years of doing this and only seeing 4 cases, that just goes to show how rare this condition is.
It worries me because she said it affects your vocal cords, and that obviously she's concerned about that. And I know, is this correct that I think she postponed all appearances for a year to
Yes.
see how she's going to do? I think that's right.
And it's wild that there are so many diseases that we just don't know about, and just at the general level. And then all of a sudden, when someone who is famous, when they say that they have it, I mean, then we learn so much about it.
It brings our attention to it, and I asked Dr. Karras, I said, how much research is actually out there since there aren't too many people who have been diagnosed with this? We're talking 1 in 1 million, and he says there is some research, but there could be more. And he also said, diagnosing this can get a little tricky, and about 3/4 of people diagnosed have been misdiagnosed. So it's tough, but the good news is it is extremely rare. So if you do wake up in the morning and have a back spasm,
don't start
thinking that you have stiff person syndrome. He says they're going to look at your medical history. There's also some blood tests that can be done to help diagnose this.
Well, I like the fact that he said at least there are medicines that they can get on that can help, and maybe she'll be, totally fine to the eye.
Yeah, and she's going to be working with doctors. She said that in interviews and on her Instagram page. So hopefully, we can see her back on stage singing soon.
That's what we want. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back.